Thanks for tuning in to the Garage Cast this week. I'm your host, Arman Hocker. I'm here with Chad, Big Fun Dunn. First off, I need to apologize for the audio because, I forgot my computer. So shut up. We'll be all right. So, that's what I wanted to ask you about the Global Force for Gains.
Mm-hmm.
So he runs like a community, or he's the kind of a network to kind of post everybody's stuff, or what?
Yeah. To I guess it's kind of to get, I guess some eyes on the guys who are active duty military,
Right.
and are still, I guess you could almost say top tier athletes.
Yeah.
Guys with elite totals and some really, really strong lifts. Guys who got to stay within the confines of their physical training.
Right.
You know what I mean? But still push themselves to be as strong as possible. And Strongman. There's a lot of CrossFitters that are active military.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the best carryover from,
Good
their recreational athletic training to work-related training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess if they can enjoy something and be better at their job at the same time, they're probably the ones who benefit the most. And like I said, strongman and powerlifting too.
So is it all the guys, or most of them, probably local, huh? I mean, he doesn't have anybody from Boston just because he's here, right?
There's a few guys on the page that he's friends with. I know Channing, he lives in Florida, but he was here
right
back in 2010, 2011.
Right.
And there's a few other guys from around the country, but it's mostly guys that train at Brute.
Yeah. You think he'll ever try to put something together for him? Kind of just because it wouldn't necessarily be sanctioned, just something for shits.
Well, I know Brandon Lilly does a lot of training with military guys.
Right.
And they have actually, I think they've discussed a little bit having a military-based competition, basically, kind of almost like a ranking for active duty military guys in the strength.
Yeah, I think
community.
It'd be something different, help, and I think with how long we've been at war, the past 10 years, but with that big push on military pride, military thanks for your service, all that kind of stuff, I think it'd be a good selling point too. But it'd be something too for to kind of show that strongmen, CrossFitters, powerlifters, whatever exercises the competition will be, that we're out there. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be pretty good, pretty slick. And then if nothing else, when that guy retires, I mean, that's something he could run. And I'm pretty sure he'd make a nice income off of it. Just as something he could do a regional tour, but just setting them up, all through the East Coast or wherever. And eventually, I guess it would eventually end up kind of like CrossFit, how you kind of not buy into it, but those hubs are everywhere.
Yeah, it's more of I guess like a tent for everybody to be under, like a common ground for everybody to kind of not really be regulated, but to kind of like a common standard for everybody to adhere to.
Be a good network too.
Yeah.
Just to get people.
I want to say NAS. Well, it's not North American Strongman anymore. It's a Strongman Corporation.
Right.
They have police, fire, military nationals.
Right.
So it's guys who are active and retired, or active, and I don't know what you call guys who like just get out. They don't really retire.
They've been dubbed vets.
Yeah, veterans, active duty, firefighters, or prior firefighters or police.
Yeah.
Basically first responders, I guess, can compete in police, fire, and military nationals.
Right.
And that's actually a pretty big deal, or at least I've seen it. In the past, where it's been pretty big. I'm not really in that community, so I don't really pay that much attention to it.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good way to go. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of, I don't know, puts you against guys in your field, and it's a good platform, I guess, for guys, who choose that line of work to kind of compete against each other. And I can kind of relate to a lot of them, being that I'm in somewhat of a physical field of occupation, where it is, some days are really hard. I mean, I can imagine cops or firefighters or military guys. I mean, you spend all day outdoors and you get a little something to eat, go to the gym and keep training. And it's not easy by any means, especially in the summertime. But I mean, you got guys who are training in between deployments, training on deployment, training in the desert.
It's the worst part is trying to get creative. Like you say, like with me, I have a garage gym, whatever you want to call it. So I'm very limited, but then I have to go to a fitness center to whatever you want to call them to get any further training. So yeah, it really forces you to be to think about how you're going to create, how you're going to mimic any movements. Because that's the thing. Depending, let's say, no, we're not saying that he's doing it, but if he does do it, okay, well, what are the events? Are you going to have a snatch? Are you going to snatch? Probably not. You have to keep them generic enough to be a competition, but then specific enough that it's not just some soup sandwich.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, also, I guess, training in itself, and I mean, you say you have somebody who lives in one city, drives within the same city or to a neighboring city,
right.
10, 15-mile commute to work to an office, sits in an office all day, can grab their food out of a refrigerator,
right.
Microwave it, do whatever, eat lunch at a table, go back to their desk, get off work, or either change at work, go to the gym, do their thing, and they work a 9 to 5 every day.
Right.
Where in some cases, I might work. I get up at 5 o'clock every morning, and I'm at work by 7 at the latest.
Mm-hmm.
I might work till 3:30, which is a pretty normal day. If it's raining, I might get off early. Right. If we're behind schedule, I might work till 5:30, 6:30.
Yeah.
7. I've worked 14-hour days before.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, really, it's a little bit harder for guys who don't have a set schedule. I mean, if you're a firefighter and you get a call to go to a wreck on the interstate, you're not going, hey guys, it's 5 o'clock, my shift's over, I got to go.
Yeah.
No, you're going to stay there till the job's done.
Yeah.
So you really, training, it can be hard, man, especially if you have training partners or a training partner.
Right.
A lot of times you get stuck training by yourself, and you just got to have that mental, I guess, tenacity to just be like, you know what, today's been a rough day, but you just push through.
Yeah.
And do what you're going to do, and it really shows. And I have a lot of respect for guys, military guys and guys who don't work a clean cut 9 to 5 job.
Yeah.
Who still do what it takes. And I mean, I'm single and I catch hell sometimes.
Right.
And I don't have a wife and kids.
Yeah, it makes it a lot
that
harder.
also pull.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you somebody who can really balance family and work and training, I mean, it takes a lot, man. And especially if you're going to eat to fuel the hard training that it takes to be a top tier athlete. I mean, it's a lot. It's a full-time job, man. It's 24/7.
You were talking about having a 9 to 5. You work a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday.
For the most part, yeah.
When I used to work shift work, and it would be Monday, Tuesday we work, Wednesday, Thursday we're off, 48 hours off, and then what did I say? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off, Friday, Saturday, Sunday we work. Following week is the opposite. So a lot of times on those 12, we work 12-hour shifts, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times it depended on how I felt. Sometimes I would just go to the garage, same setup, go to my garage and just do something. Because 12 hours, I got a 40-mile drive to work and back. It's 80 miles. Plus, I got to get all my equipment. Like it turns into a 15 or 16-hour work day. So there would be times where I would go out there and I would just like 135 bench just to keep the muscles familiar. But then the next day I could do a full workout.
Yeah, absolutely.
So when it comes to those long or short days, it can get tricky on what your training program is. It's almost worse if you have a program, because most programs are written 4 days and 1 off, 6 days and 1 off. But now I work office hours Monday through Friday. And it's become almost worse because now, like you were saying, when I get home, have a wife, I have 3 kids. One of them's a baby, 1-year-old. So without already being some sort of elite competitor or bodybuilder, something definitive, it's kind of hard for me to say now, I need another hour to go work out. Because it's like, well, look at you, you're fat, dude. You're not working. It's harder to make that argument. But, yeah, it really gets difficult to try to balance all of that. And then come out on top. So that's why I think a place like Brute or any commercial-style gym is good because, one, if you can allow the time to get you away from the family, away from responsibilities.
Yes.
But once you get to that place, you can focus.
Oh yeah, you get in the car and you got to commit. You get in the car, you leave the house, you drive to the gym.
Right.
You're there, might as well do your thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're at home. Oh, it's in the garage.
That's worse. I've done that.
I got home at 7 o'clock. It's 7. You know,
right.
I'll get out there at 8. Well, 8 comes, 8:30.
Yeah.
8:45. Oh shit, it's almost 9 o'clock. Yeah. The wife's cooking. You know, dinner's gonna be ready in 20 minutes.
Right.
I'll get to it tomorrow. Before you know it, you missed a week of training.
Yeah.
Well, you know, today's the 21st. Mm-hmm. The first of next month, I'm gonna hit it.
Isn't it?
Well, guess what? The first comes. Oh, damn. Yeah, today is the first, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'll get on it on the second. You know, and before you know it, you got shit collecting dust in the garage, man. And I've seen it. It's happened to me before.
Yeah.
You know, I used to train, when I first started, I was training, I trained for football at school, but sometimes in the summer, we only trained 2 days a week with the football team, so I started building my garage set up when I was 14. My dad and me, and I was pretty good at it for a while. Then I started working, and when I got out of high school and started working, then it was it was hot today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm training tomorrow.
You're tired, so you're gonna find an excuse to not do something.
Oh yeah.
It's like
when you don't have to get in the car and go to the gym and commit to it.
Yeah.
It's so much easier. Like, it's just way too easy to just put it off.
When I talk to Luke a lot, and that's what I tell him is that I think he's got like 4 guys or 5 guys that run down there with him, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I tell him, like, it's so much harder without a workout partner if you already have not accomplished something. Like, say, at my strongest, I had not a workout partner necessarily, but there was a 5 o'clock crew. Same guys every day. Hey, you can ask for a spot, whatever. Mm-hmm. Once I lost that, I'm like, yeah, I've deadlifted 500, but there's no reason for me to maintain that. So now I'm finding excuses. And I've had days where I used to drop the kid off at daycare at 7 o'clock or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, I'm going to walk a mile, and I'm going to get back home. It's chest day or whatever. And I'm like, I got these shows DVR'd. Let me go ahead and check that out. But without that peer pressure from a workout partner or driving to the gym, because I think, I want to say twice in my life, 16 years of weight training, twice I've driven to the gym, not felt like working out, and turned around and went home. But those were, I didn't have a workout partner, but there will be days where I just like, I'm not into it. Because there's also days where I've been in the gym and I would just do nothing, just kind of walk around, do some curls. But and that's what I was saying, that sometimes you just have to at least do something. Because I still felt good. Mm-hmm. I go, well, yeah, I was supposed to do shoulders, I was supposed to do legs or something, but just doing something. Okay, tomorrow, then the next day, I have a lot more fight in me. Because I'm like, yesterday, it was just total bullshit. You know, I didn't do what I was supposed to do, so I got to get it today. Mm-hmm. But yeah, when it's convenient, it's bad. And that's the only thing I don't like about getting any equipment. You know, treadmill, I have a row machine, right? But it's because my wife bought it 2 years ago and never used it. Like, well, I can use that, right? But when it comes to certain equipment, if you don't keep it basic, that's why I don't have like a squat rack and all that stuff. We got an Olympic bar, a pull-up bar, and I think about 280 pounds in bumper plates and kettlebells and stuff. Like, just enough. If I want to do something, I can. If I don't, I didn't just blow $3,000 on a garage gym and not use them. Mm-hmm. You were talking about football, so is that where you started lifting?
Yeah.
So what were you a bodybuilder? CrossFit wasn't around? You were doing jazzercise? What was why did you say you were playing football and you said, okay, football's over? Did you just kind of revert to what you knew? Squats and deadlifts?
Really football is what got me in the gym.
Right.
Period. I mean, you know, we all did PE and everything, but when the summer before 9th grade, me and a friend of mine were hanging out, riding bikes around, you know, doing whatever. Summertime, you know, 8th grade, 9th grade kids chilling during the summer, and he's like, hey, football's training today. You want to go to the high school and train with the football team? And I was like, damn, man, like I didn't play. I played a little baseball in middle school and like rec league, community baseball, but I had never really thought about playing sports in high school.
Right.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, let's go. Let's try it out. Football, it'd be fun. My dad played football in high school. I was like, hell yeah, it'd be fun to play football. So we got to school. I want to say it was like probably 3 o'clock, I think, we started. Yeah. Man, the first day, the guys had done some stuff and got the coaches all pissed off. We go through stations, like, we split up linemen and backs, and then like half the linemen would go to like say squats, right? Half the linemen would go to incline, and then like half the backs would be on bench press, another half would be on like power cleans, right? And that was like the main 4 stations: squat, bench, incline, power clean. We had a station for like a lot of guys did like bench dips. They put like plates in their lap, do bench dips, and like medicine balls. Or maybe it was like 6 stations. But either way, we get split up into each station, so you'd have, there'd be a bunch of guys doing squats and, 4 or 5 squat racks, and y'all all split up, and a few people here and there. And so, the first day we do, I forget, it was like 10 minutes on each station. Right. So, we do a station, and the coaches will blow the whistle, everybody lay on the floor, we do 5 minutes of abs in between every station. Yeah. Hell. Right. I woke up the next morning, man, I could not move. Sore from my chin to my toes.
And did you even know what soreness was?
Absolutely not.
You just were like, why do I hurt?
Yeah, why do I hurt so bad? Oh, am I sick? I don't know what's wrong.
Right.
And so I finally got broke loose and moving around. That was on Tuesday, and that we trained. So I woke up Wednesday morning feeling like I got hit by a truck. Right. Thursday, it was pretty hard, but we still went back, and Thursday it wasn't as bad. We did our stations, nobody got in trouble, so we didn't have to get killed with abs. Right. But then we'd weight train, and then we go out in the field. I think that Thursday we went out in the field and we do some agility drills, and then we usually play like touch football or something. Right. And that was just our summer training, was 2 days a week, and so I did that. And then we actually started dressing out August. I think I started training probably. We hadn't been out of school long, so I probably got a good month of weight training. Right. And then then we started practicing every day. Maybe into July, I think we got 2 weeks. We put on like helmets. Yeah. We all got fitted with helmets, and then we go out and actually like start having like light practices. And then August 7th was the first day of full contact pads, everything, right. And I was scared to death. Right. But not to make it a football story, but anyway, we got through my ninth grade football season, and I got my ass kicked pretty good. I was slow. Right. I mean, it's not like I was like I didn't like hitting. I was just I wasn't very fast, right. And I wasn't super athletic. I wasn't very strong.
Were you a big kid?
I was probably 5'10", 5'11", about 210 pounds. Really? Going into ninth grade.
Is that big?
I mean, that was pretty big.
Well, yeah, that's big. Yeah. That's pretty big.
So,
wow.
After we got through a football season in ninth grade, my dad had, he did the whole, weightlifting. I guess he was more, bodybuilding. Yeah. 1970s style training. You trained your entire body every day. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there was no really strong man. I mean, the world's strongest man wasn't even around in the 70s, I don't believe. Right. Not nothing like it is today. I want to say the world's strongest man was like 1977. But, I mean, aside from that, they trained the entire body. I mean, right. You did legs, back, chest, arms, everything, every day, every time you worked out. So, I mean, a workout was, 2.5, 3 hours of getting it. Yeah. And
this is before D-ball.
Most likely, yeah. But, so, I mean, we actually my parents bought a Bowflex when I was in middle school. Right. People buy shit and don't use it. Mm-hmm. But they get this stuff, and it never really got used. And, I trained with the football team. We got through the season, and I started working out on that. And, I mean, don't knock the Bowflex. That thing...
It's resistant, like a resistance band, isn't it?
Yeah, Bowflex is legit, man. for what it is. It's not free weights, but it'll give you a workout. Right. So I started training on that, man, and I did a full body workout, and I did that for probably a couple of weeks, and my dad really started looking at him. My dad has been a huge supporter, man, for everything I've ever done. Right. And I really owe a great deal of credit to him and his effort to make me better at what I wanted to do. Like, he never forced me to do anything, but he was definitely supportive, and he definitely gave me the means to succeed in what I've done. Right. But my dad did some looking around, and met a guy who's actually he still coaches Olympic lifting, Olympic style lifting. He owned a CrossFit gym for a while, but he's got, at the time, all 4 of his sons were Olympic lifters, and a couple of them were top-ranked national Olympic lifters at school age, USAW weightlifters. Right. And we started training at his house, me, his boys, and a few other guys from Great Ridge High School in Chesapeake, different city. But he started training us Olympic style lifting, and that really helped my speed and my explosive power and my flexibility. You squat every time you train. There's some sort of squat, be it overhead, front squat, back squat. There's something. You're doing something, some kind of squat.
So the repetition is a muscle familiarity?
Yes, and really, I really think, man, I love squatting to this day. And I mean, it's always been a pretty good lift for me. But no, I trained. We got hooked up with him, and I actually went even through the point we started doing 2-a-days going into 10th grade. Right. I do 2-a-days to practice, get out of practice, go to Chesapeake and Olympic train. Right. 3 times a week, and that really started taking a toll on me. I wasn't eating enough, and really between practice and being out in the heat and then trying to train, it was just kicking my ass. So
probably didn't know how to eat back then either.
No, I mean, it was peanut butter sandwiches and packs of hot dogs.
That sounds delicious, by the way.
You know, I ate so many hot dogs. I mean, an entire pack of hot dogs didn't last very long. Right. But yeah, rest in peace to all the pigs that it took to make them hot dogs. And the gallons of peanut butter. But I mean, dude, like going into school, trying to gain weight, I mean, like a lot of us, man, especially linemen for the most part, we just wanted to be big. We wanted to be monsters. And I mean, as much as we train and practice football, you're not going to really gain, you're not going to get fat. Right. So, dude, like a lot of us, the coaches told us, man, you want to be big, you want to be strong, peanut butter sandwiches. Well, yeah. So, I mean, a loaf of bread, and I'd make like 6 or 8 peanut butter sandwiches, cut them in half, and stack a freezer bag, and that went in my backpack. Right. And that's what I ate all the time. I mean, in between classes, grab peanut butter sandwich and chomp it down going down the hall, man. And but no, I mean, so I got through that. I pulled back from Olympic training through the 10th grade football season. But as soon as football season was over, we got right back at it. And I actually ended up doing my first weightlifting competition ever. I forget where it was. I want to say we went up to Maryland for my first contest ever. Right. It was at a middle school in Maryland.
And you're still in high school at this point?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I think I might have been 14. But I did my first Olympic, just snatch, 3 attempts snatch, 3 attempts clean and jerk. Right. Olympic meet. And I got where I was getting pretty good at it. I was 4th in the States for my age and weight class as a school age lifter for a while. Like I said, those boys I lifted with, my coach's boys, his, I guess Kane is the 3rd oldest. He's got two older brothers and 1 younger brother. He's a heavyweight Olympic lifter. Right. I want to say he's the first American to clean and jerk over 500 pounds.
Still active, you mean?
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, and I believe he's looking to go into the Olympics. Right. This next go around. But he's an incredible Olympic lifter. But I ended up not actually playing football my junior year in high school, and so I just really focused on Olympic lifting.
Yeah.
And competing in Olympic lifting, and I did a few Olympic meets, local, a few, one down in North Carolina, and I really enjoyed it. And but when I got out of high school, I played my senior year of football, and then I continued training. Got out of high school and started working, and training kind of hit the back burner.
Yeah.
For a while, I was on again, off again. It was hot,
right.
Long days, and everybody's got excuses.
Reprioritize though too.
Yeah. I'm not in school anymore. It's time to start growing up a little bit. You got to start making a living for yourself.
Right.
And so weight training kind of hit the back burner, and I'd say from the time probably about the time I turned 19, I really didn't touch weights. 19, 20. 21,
right.
Everybody turns 21 and drinks for a little while.
Right.
So,
right.
There's nothing wrong with it, man. You gotta, I believe, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Oh yeah.
I enjoyed lifting, but I didn't love it. I liked it, but I didn't love it at the time. Obviously, because if I loved it, I never would have walked away from it. But there was probably, I'd say, I graduated in 06, turned 19 in 07. So probably 07, 08, 09, and the first half of 2010, I didn't really touch the weights. I got there's a couple months here and there. I want to say late 2009, early 2010. I did the Planet Fitness, went in there and went through the machines. Oh yeah, I had a Planet Fitness.
Why would you go to Planet Fitness?
At the time, Planet Fitness was very new. They didn't have commercials on TV or nothing like.
Right.
As far as I knew, there was one Planet Fitness, and it was in my neighborhood. But I went there, and it was cheap.
I never knew that about you.
And I was like, hey, it's a gym. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ignorance is bliss, and I was just trying to get it in, which, I don't hate on nobody, man.
Right.
If you can get a workout in a Planet Fitness, go to Planet Fitness and do your workout. Yeah. And there's been plenty of people, everybody, Planet Fitness don't want you doing this, they don't want you doing that. Well, if Planet Fitness is what gets your foot in the door of weightlifting, then Planet Fitness is successful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's been plenty of people who have had life changes happen in the doors of Planet Fitness. I know a few girls I went to school with, train at Planet Fitness all the time.
Right. And
they've been over 200 pounds and in terrible shape.
Yeah.
Feel like crap about themselves and have done exclusive training at Planet Fitness. And now they look great and they feel awesome.
Yeah.
They feel good about themselves. They're proud of how they look again. And, I don't knock Planet Fitness. We all joke, but on a real level, it works for some people.
It's like, look, I only know Planet Fitness from the commercials. Now, if I saw Planet Fitness without seeing commercials or hearing anybody talk about it on YouTube and everything, I'll probably look and go, one, it's colorful, so human nature says I'm going to be attracted to it.
Mm-hmm.
Two, now, they serve pizza. I'm not mad at that at all. So yeah, if you're going from 0 to whatever, the way to get in, any way to get in. Some people, and you'll see it with very obese people. People that are just 6'1", 700 pounds, and they'll be like, "Well, I walked to the end of my driveway."
Yeah.
And then a year, 2 years later, they're not necessarily this muscular, beauty. But they've knocked out 400 pounds. They're functional now.
Oh, yeah.
They can move it. So
we've all seen the guys go from 650 pounds to now he weighs 400 pounds. And,
spirits,
you never would have thought 400 pounds would look good and somebody could feel great about themselves.
Yeah. I used to see that on the, what's that show? The Biggest Loser.
Mm-hmm.
They they have somebody on there and they're finding a reveal. I specifically remember a guy, he's like, they got on the scale. 250 pounds, and I'm thinking I'm fat at 250.
Yeah.
But that guy dropped all that weight, 250 now. It doesn't look horrible.
Yeah.
He looked, because he's working out and everything too to get down. I was like, I don't look bad. So yeah, however you can start it, I think just stick with it. That's fine.
Yeah, relative to the 450 pounds maybe he started at.
Yeah.
It's 100 times better than what he was at.
Yeah, you can cuss on here, by the way.
No.
I just try not to.
Yeah, I mean,
it happens.
Yeah. Anyway,
heaven forbid you're an adult. Yeah. But you said squat was your favorite exercise. Is that because that was the only one you were successful at, or was it just did it come easy to you? Because for me, mine was deadlift, but that was the first exercise I mean, everybody messed around with curl, but the first kind of bodybuilding group buddy workout I ever did was deadlifts, and I out deadlifted a guy that's been lifting for a year. He got mad at me. I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Yeah. So that's why I always kind of default to deadlifts to get me back into it. So is that what happened when you would squat? You kind of went down with 225 and popped back up, and the coach was like, oh, wow. So you kind of followed that?
Well, it definitely wasn't my first in high school. As far as football training, like when you start out, you put a squat bar in your back, it hurts.
Yeah.
Until you squat for a while, it hurts, man. You get swollen, and it sucks. Yeah. It just hurts. And then, Olympic training, like I said, you squat all the time. So it's like, it's just another thing, really. It's not really a favorite or least favorite. It's just part of it. Olympic lifting, you squat all the time. And then, I'd say after high school, I kind of got away from solely Olympic training, and I kind of got to the point where I just wanted to train to look good. I want to. Everybody, all dudes want the big shoulders, and big biceps.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No, absolutely not. But I guess all the years of squatting, basically with everything I did, I got pretty good at it. At least what I thought was good at it. So it kind of, like I said, I did, the whole Planet Fitness thing. It got to the point where I was just going in and I get on the treadmill for 45 minutes or so.
Right.
And then it kind of hit the New Year's resolutioners.
Yeah.
And I walk in that place and it is so packed.
Yeah.
I just kind of stopped as soon as I walked in the door. And I just kind of looked around, and the girl at the desk was like, "Is everything okay?" I just looked at her and shook my head and said, "Nah." And I turned around and walked out.
Right.
And, it was a couple months. And really another thing, I owe something too. My foreman I was working for at the time, he joined the gym. And all he ever talked about was going to the gym after work. And I'm like, I used to go to the gym. Yeah. I was a has-been, what I'm saying? I used to train all the time. Back when I played football in high school, I was a beast. Well, I was 296 pounds, and what really irritated me was the fact that simple things that people do, climbing up something, I realized that my body weight was more than I could handle, really.
Getting winded and stuff, and you couldn't even...
Yeah, I mean, kind of like how you get out of a pool, how you put your hands on the edge of the pool and push yourself up, get up on a knee.
I just jump straight out, but
yeah, of course.
But yeah.
But I mean, it was to the point where I couldn't do something like that.
Really?
I couldn't put my hands up on something and push myself up enough to get a knee on the ledge.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, wow.
So at that point,
this is. I kind of looked at myself like the fat dude who couldn't get off of the couch by himself.
Right.
I mean, it was like, that hit me hard, man.
Did it do the roll joint?
And
so was it, because this is for religious or not or whatever, I've literally had, this is on and off working out, I literally had a voice in my head say, well, do something about it. Something happened.
Yes.
I can't remember exactly what I was doing. Looking in the mirror, or I thought I used to be strong, or I want to do... And a freaking voice, do something, because I always tell people that. They go, oh yeah, I wanna go. What's around here? I wanna go see a Navy ship. Well, just go to the base. Just drive down there. You don't even have to go in the base. Just go do it. Just go do something, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happened to me one day, and this was, I think it was after I broke my back. But yeah, whatever happened. But I said, all right, well, I'm starting tomorrow. And tomorrow, that's when I started just doing something in the garage, just something. And then eventually kind of snowballed into more consistent inconsistencies anyway. So is that what it is that what it was like with you, or did you have to sleep on it for a week?
No, like I said, I got to that point, and it really upset me about myself. Like, I was like, man, when I was in high school, I went, Olympic lifting took me from being one of the last guys in wind sprints to where I was fast enough and I was in good enough shape. I was one of the first guys.
Right.
For the linemen, I couldn't keep up with the backs, but how often do you know a lineman that can keep up with backs?
Right.
But it's, the backs would go and then we'd go, and I was, number 2 or number 3 every time.
Right. Consistent.
And, I felt awesome. I was in good shape.
Yeah.
And, nobody likes to run, but, I got to the point when I was still in school, in the summertime, I would go run at Mount Trashmore, around that big lake.
Yeah.
And 2 laps is 3 miles. I got where I could do 2 laps, or it's about 3.5 miles. But I think my best time to run 3 miles was like 28 minutes.
Right.
And for somebody 240 pounds, that's not bad, dude.
Yeah.
And, and I started looking back at how I had just let myself get to the point where I couldn't move my own body around.
Right.
And it was really a wake up call, man. I got kind of angry with myself.
But you need that.
Yeah.
Everybody bottoms out at different points.
Mm-hmm.
Some people, they don't perform well at their job because they forgot one to do thing on their 40 things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some people have to let all 40 things crash. But whatever it is, you kind of see it in the maturity.
It's a turning point.
Yeah, you have to say, well, cool, well, let's fix this.
Yeah, so, and then I found out that my job would actually pay straight up half of a gym membership for like a half of an annual gym membership up to $500. So they'd pay up to $250.
Right.
If so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna join a gym. And around here we have, at the time, the gyms I knew of was East Coast Gym, which is like an old school bodybuilder style gym. Flex Gym, which is an old school bodybuilder style gym, and Brute Strength Gym, which I had been to Brute once when I was training in my house.
Right.
I want to say it was right after I graduated. I was training in my house pretty constantly. But me and a friend of mine had went up there just to go check it out. We had heard things about it, So we're like, let's go up there, get a day pass and train. So actually, we went up there. We had messed around with Atlas stones a little bit. Mm-hmm. And really, that's the only thing I remember doing is Atlas stones. I'm sure there was some other stuff we did.
Right.
But I do remember Atlas stones. And then we left, and for whatever reason, we didn't go back. But I went and checked out Flex, East Coast, and then I went to Brute. Just kind of going around, checking out which gyms I wanted to join and rates and all that stuff. And Brute was actually the last gym I went to. It was on a Sunday. I want to say like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was, not many people in there. Stella, the manager, she was in there.
Right.
And she walked me around the gym and kind of showed us everything they had. And I was like, well, all right, well, I didn't sign up that day. I said, I'm gonna think about it.
Yeah.
And see what I really want to do and what I'm really looking forward to get out of this. And so I went home. And I went back that Monday and I signed up. And I started going. It was really, like back then, Brute really, it's changed a lot.
It just changed. When was I down here? 2010?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the CrossFit just started. They didn't
even have CrossFit back in 2010.
No, it was...
CrossFit wasn't even a thing around here.
2011, because they just put they took the
Conan's wheel.
They moved that out and put that rig right there, but that was like it.
Yeah.
And they didn't have anything else. It was still like, what are y'all CrossFitters doing here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there was no space. They didn't kind of parcel that place off.
Yeah. So, I joined there, and I would train by myself. And I was in there, I think it was like probably like a Wednesday night.
Right.
I was in there. There was this dude in there benching, and he benched, as far as I was concerned, he was a freak, man. And he was a pretty strong dude, but he benched in a shirt.
Yeah.
And I'd only ever seen one other dude bench in a shirt before. And so it was like I was over there, I forget what the hell I was doing. I ain't no telling what I was doing.
Right.
Probably some half-ass shrugs or some stupid weight. But it was me, a couple other guys, him, and he's like, hey man, you mind helping hold the board, like board benching or something?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I get over there and I'm kind of helping him out in between my sets and stuff. And I had heard that there was going to be a Strongman event going on.
Right.
And since I can remember, I used to love watching World's Strongest Man on TV.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be legit. Like,
it's back when they carried refrigerators and cars and all that.
Yeah. But so the guys, it was gonna be a St. Jude Children's Hospital benefit, and it was gonna be a team. There was 2 main teams, and I forget exactly what the events were. I know there was a stone run. There was a yoke carry. I don't remember if there's a tire flip or not, but some pretty common strongman events.
Right.
And so I went up and I asked the manager, if she needed any help for the day of the contest. She was like, actually, you know what? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was on a Saturday morning, and so I got there early one Saturday morning, and we kind of set the stuff up, and the guys started coming in. And I mean, back then I was, at that point, like I said, I joined Brute. I was 296 pounds and in terrible shape.
Right.
But in the first 2.5, 3 months, I went from almost 300 pounds down to about 270. Wow. I cut a lot of weight. I mean, it just left me like crazy. Yeah. And then so I lost a bunch of weight. Let's see how I'm trying to get my timeline right. But anyway, I went and I worked that event. I was like, man, this is pretty awesome. On one of the things, it was kind of funny actually, because I had that big black frame carry, steel frame carry, and that was one of the events. I think it was yoke and frame carry, like yoke down and frame carry back. Right. And I think one of the guys would take the yoke down, and when he crossed the line, the other guy would take off with the frame. And so the frame was out in the middle of the lane, and empty is 500 pounds, and the frame was out in the middle of the floor. We needed to move it for something. Yeah. And I was like, hey, does this need to get put away or something? And they were like, yeah, it goes down there. So I reached down, no straps on, no belt, no warm-ups, and a hoodie and cargo shorts and tennis shoes. Right. And picked this thing up, carried it down there and set it down. Right. And at the time, Mark was like, man, that dude, I'm talking to him today, or not today, but, now. Yeah. And we've become pretty good friends, and he was actually on one of those teams. And he's like, man, I went up to Stella. I was like, who is this dude? Yeah. She's like, oh, he just joined, a couple months ago, and he's been training here and stuff.
You talking about
Mark Kimner? Yeah, and Mark was like, that dude is strong. To just come, just cold, pick up the frame and tote it down there. That's kind of impressive.
Did it hurt though? Did you when you picked it up? Were you like, oh, it is heavy?
Oh, yeah, this is kind of heavy, But I picked it up and moved it where it needed to go. Yeah. So that was kind of it opened my eyes to the strongman, and I was like, man, this is pretty cool. So a couple of my buddies had joined, so we kind of had, they called us the Wrecking Crew. Right. It was me, Derek, and my boy Mike, and we trained pretty regular together for a while. And but we went in there, and we do our little routine that we had, and there was a few of the older guys that had been doing strongman, and they kind of started showing me the strongman implements and how to do certain things, and then I signed up. They had a strongman contest coming up. I want to say that team event was in October or November or something in the fall, and they had a regular strongman event coming up that January or February. I don't remember. It was the first one. But I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sign up for this thing. Yeah. And so I signed up for the Novice Class, and me and one other boys that I train with now, Kevin, we were both novice, and he actually went before me on the first 3 events, and it was pretty funny because, he'd go and he'd get a certain time for that event, and then I'd go and beat him by a second. Right. And I just barely did beat him on the first 3 events just the same way. Right. By a second or less. I beat him on the first 3 events, and then we had a max axle deadlift. And I actually hit a huge PR. I was 3 of us tied with a 550 axle deadlift. Mm-hmm. And so I think he ended up winning that event, and I think I got 3rd. It was based off of body weight. Yeah. So they split it up like that. And then the last event was stones, and it was a stone run. I forget the weights, but the last stone was a 300 to the 40-inch platform, and he had loaded his, and he had a pretty decent time. And I got my first 4 loaded, and I was ahead of him by 8 seconds. Yeah. I was beating him, and I went to load the 300 stone, and it hit the edge of the table, and I went to like shove it up, and the whole table rocked, almost flipped over.
Right.
So I drop it, and it hits the ground, and I got to pick it and reload it, and I just barely lost that event. And I ended up getting second to him. And since then, he always gives me shit because, oh, you never beat me in a strongman contest. I'm like, you know what, man? That was like 6 years ago.
Right.
But, so, yeah, that was my first strongman contest. And since then, I've pretty much been hooked, man. It's been, I mean, this is the longest I've ever been training and not really got away from it. I think the longest I've ever stayed out of Brute. There was a time I had to work out of town. I think I spent like 6 weeks where I really didn't do anything as far as weight training goes. But after that 6 weeks, I found a place I could live when I was out of town. I think I was out of town for like 4 months.
Right.
But I found a place where I could, do some kind of training, and stuck it out, and got finished with that job. And now, I mean, it's second nature. When I go out of town, I'm Googling, finding places to train when I'm gone.
Yeah.
And
where was the last place you did? You just did a squat video.
that's in Jacksonville, North Carolina, down around Camp Lejeune.
You do 600?
605 for 4.
Yeah.
In a strange gym where you don't know nobody. It's pretty scary.
Yeah. I saw a guy spot you. They weren't big guys.
Nah, they were
All
really young Marines.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like they just got out of boot camp.
Like they said, they seem small, kind of just like kids.
Yeah. I mean, really. I mean, I'm almost 30 years old, so boys are 19, 20, 21 years old. I mean, I kind of look at it like kids. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago. We were there, but
right.
It's still it's a big difference, man, between 19, 20, and 28, 29 years old. You do a lot of growing up in that time frame.
Right.
But yeah, man, they were great guys. I mean, I didn't know them from anybody.
Right.
But I was just like, hey, man, y'all think you could kind of like give me a spot and hang out? And yeah, all right.
Yeah.
And they're like, so you just going for one? I was like, nah, man, I'm supposed to hit 4 with this. And they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, one dude was like, hey, man, can I get a video? Like, I've never seen anybody lift like this.
Right.
And around Brute, I mean, a 600 squat's decent, but it's not like, oh my god, that guy's squatting 600 pounds.
Yeah.
And really being around a gym where you just got a bunch of freaks, it's kind of, you're kind of numb to a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, I'll get mad because I can't squat 650 or man, 625 feels heavy today. Well, guess what? 625 is heavy.
Yeah.
And there's no reason why you should be really that upset that it feels a little heavy.
I think it's if it's the same as your group of friends. Like if you're the smartest guy in the group or whatever, it's because of your group.
Yeah.
Or if you're the slowest, you're the poorest, you're the richest. Same thing like with lifting, because all I've ever really gone to was not bodybuilding, but like kind of like regular commercial gyms.
Yeah.
So you see a guy put 315 on a flat bench, you kind of go, it's a lot to me because I'm a 225, 250 guy, right? Mm-hmm. So 315 on the flat bench for reps, you kind of go, man, that guy's pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first time I saw 315 on the incline, I went, ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But then after going to Brute, and seeing guys like really squat 400 like it's nothing. What's that guy, Thomas? Then when I was there, Jamie, Big Jamie Black, ball guy.
Mm-hmm. He's still there.
Like when they were moving weight, I was like, ooh, I should just go over here to the curl rack because they're given another 150 pounds on every lift, but that environment kind of breeds that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And not that you'd be shunned, because I think I just saw on Instagram from Brute, I think it was today. Oh, I saw it today. Some skinny dude, man. He had like 25s on the bar, and like I think it was the competition. Like he dropped it and he said press. He pushed it up. But that guy still kind of gets praised, like, "Hey, you got the press" or whatever.
Well, it has nothing to do with the weight on the bar.
Yeah.
It has to do with making yourself better than you were the last time, making yourself stronger than you were the last time, or at least pushing yourself mentally. That's what it's about. It's about the effort. It's not about the weight.
Yeah.
It's not about who it is. It's not about what you look like. Gravity and iron sees no race,
it doesn't
sees
care.
No gender.
Doesn't care.
It don't make
free
a
workout.
thing.
It doesn't
Gravity
care. Nothing. It doesn't care if it's a bad day for you. Because I've done that before where I would go work out, and I'm old school, so I'll do seated military press with the dumbbells. So I do 35, 40, and it hurt so bad. Mm-hmm. But I just got one more set. I put 45 on there, and they fly up off my shoulder. I go, what is going on to me? It doesn't make sense. Yeah. So then I put 50 on. Like it. I think at the end of everything, at the end of the day, I hate saying the end of the day, but whether it's Brute, whether it's Planet Fitness, whether it's Brute has CrossFit too, I think the common denominator with every lifter, Olympic lifting, circuit training, mm-hmm. the common denominator is seeing and understanding the struggle. Yeah. Because like we were talking about, like the fat person that cuts down to 400 pounds, the person that goes in that's 135 pounds, fresh rookie, that ends up actually squatting 225 or whatever it is. Like everyone knows the struggle, and depending on the environment, and usually it's good, people are trying to help you. Yeah. Not being bossy, but going, well, look, dude, if you're going to squat, if you're going to deadlift, your feet should probably be right around here. Yeah. And you should probably keep your chin up, like whatever the tweak is. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what I see mostly in Brute, because aside from the name, it's really about moving objects. So mm-hmm. then you say, well, how do I move them the most efficient way? Mm-hmm. Like you were saying with not the former carry, the frame carry. Mm-hmm. You didn't have straps, you didn't have. Well, how you lifted it was probably the most efficient way. You mm-hmm. could have drug it down that 20 yards or whatever that thing is. Like, I'll just pick it up. So I think that's the common denominator I've always seen is somebody benching and can't do it, or a girl. You see a lot of girls, even when it's more common now because of CrossFit and stuff. But you'll see a girl do a 135 bench press, mm-hmm. and it's like I don't think I've ever seen them do it in real life. But to understand that the way the female body's made and built and all this, that's just not a strong press for it. It's not a strong movement. Yeah. But when they do it, it's in the back of my mind, I'm like, yes. And she may be hot too, but I'm like, yes, she got it. Because mm-hmm. I know what it's like to only have the bar, only have 10s. Okay, now you got 15. You got 20 with a spotter. Like, I know what it's like for people to want you to do it. Yeah. And you finally achieve that goal.
Yeah, I mean, for me, 6'1", 320 pounds, I remember back in the day when I was hyped, I went home and told my dad the first time I bench pressed 100 pounds. Right. Dad, I benched 100 pounds a day. He's mm-hmm. like, really?
Right.
I'm like, what? He's like, it's 100 pounds. I'm like, but yeah, I bench pressed 100 pounds. Yeah. And like, he didn't really get it. Like, all right, it's 100 pounds, but like, for me, that's 100 pounds. Yeah. 100 pounds is a lot. Right. To a kid in 9th grade, that's 100 pounds.
But just, I think just maybe not your father didn't have respect for it, but 100 pounds is still heavy. Yeah. If there's a TV, there's a couch, there's a refrigerator, there's something.
How much that weighs? That's 100 pounds. Oh shit. Yeah. Hey, give me a hand with this. This is 100 pounds.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think because he already had a number in his head, like, well, yeah, it's 100. Okay. Yeah. That's nothing. Yeah. But to you, yeah. At one time, that's one time you would love for your father to have lied to you. Yeah. Shit, yeah, fucking right. Woo. It's like, but yeah, I mean, it happens, man. And I try not to, whenever people are beginning to lift, like my wife, she'll try to do some stuff. And whatever they can get, I go, that's awesome. All right. But I'm a guy that always says, okay, well, let's do more next time. Well, I don't know. You just stay at your number then. What are you doing it for? Oh, yeah. I'm not saying tomorrow you're going to double that, or but tomorrow
let's get another rep.
Yeah.
Let's get a little more weight. Let's improve.
Yeah.
All right, it was hard. Let's make it a little smoother rep. Yeah. Let's make it where instead of getting all crooked and shaking, you can hit it for a double.
Doesn't everybody do that on the bench press when they first start? Yes. Like their left arm's down, right side.
Well, I tell you what, man, I got my sister to finally get in Brute. Actually, my dad tricked her into coming to Brute.
How do you trick somebody?
So it was her birthday. Right. And my dad was like, yo, go get dressed. Let's get in the car. Right. And she's like, well, where are we going? How do I need to dress? She's like, just get some like tennis shoes and like a hoodie or something, Right. You ain't got to be real fancy, like some sweatpants or something. Yeah. We're just going right up the street. So she's like, all right. So she's, My sister, she's like me. She don't trust nobody. It's her birthday. Somebody's about to do something.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So she gets dressed. She's like, all right, well, let's go. So they get in the truck. And I'm already at the gym. I know what's going down.
Yeah.
Right? And so, they're about halfway through the drive. And she's, we go in here, we go in there. And he's just like, look, just ride.
Yeah.
We'll be there in a few minutes. So she finally gets the hint, oh, shit, we're going to Brute.
Right.
Gets all nervous and, oh my God, I don't belong here,
Yeah.
And dude, my sister, man, she was, I don't know how much she weighed, but when her and my soon-to-be worthless ex-brother-in-law, when they decided to get divorced, she was pretty heavy.
Yeah.
But she actually, I bought for Christmas, I bought her one of those Fitbits.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't want to be like, look, you're fat, you need to lose some weight.
Right.
But, this is a way I can be like, look, I was thinking, you've said you want to lose some weight. You said you want to get in better shape. Here's this. It's a tool to help you move in the right direction. And to be honest with you, when I bought it, I was like, well, I might as well throw this $20 out the window, or this, $60 or $70.
Yeah.
I might as well throw this in the trash. Like,
right.
But you know what? I'm going to make this purchase. I'm going to give her this gift, and hopefully it moves her in the right direction.
Yeah.
So she started using it, and she was like, I just walked so many this, or I walked this, or, I did this at work, and so when I got home, I was only at this many steps, so I went for a walk.
Yeah.
Well, she started losing weight.
Right. Imagine that.
And, then her birthday, this was Christmas, and then her birthday came around, and my dad gets her in the Brute, and I see him walk in. She's just looking around like, oh my God, like, I can't believe this. So she gets in there, and, she's all nervous and, don't really want to, I don't belong here, and this ain't my kind of gym. And so, my dad, like, look, I'm gonna pay up front. I think it was like 2 or 3 months, like a package deal. You buy a few months up front. So he gets her a few months, and she starts going, and I kind of helped her with a few things. Let's see, that was her birthday. I want to say that she was working out in tennis shoes, and that Christmas I actually bought her a pair of those Adidas lifter shoes, like
really
power lift trainers or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of like a hybrid Ollie shoe sort of thing.
Right. But
I got her those, and she seemed to really like that, and we got her squatting, and she was just, I want to squat 130, 135 is the big wheels.
Yeah.
And so she got over a 100-pound squat, and she was happy about that. And I mean, that was really awesome. And then I was like, you feel pretty good? And she was like, yeah, I feel good. I was like, well, the weights, looks like you're looking strong. Like the weights are looking like they're moving easy. I was like, let's go a little heavier.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, well, all right. She had 25s on the bar.
Right.
So we put a 5 up there. She does 1 or 2. I said, that's good. And I said, let's go up a little bit more. So we put another 5 up there.
Right.
And she went, I said, just do 1 this time. And so I'm kind of staying close spotting her. And we actually get to the point where there's a 25, I think 2 10s, and a 5.
Yeah.
So it's actually, 145 pounds on the bar.
Right.
But it doesn't look like much.
Yeah.
And so she gets it, and she hits it. And I said, let's do another one.
Mm-hmm. So
she does another one. She does a double with 145.
Sure. Right.
And smooth. And I was like, dude, this is awesome.
Right.
And this wasn't that long ago, and a couple months ago. And so I was like, hey, let's do this. Rack it. And I was like, pull those plates off and re-rack the plates. And then I got a 45. Yeah. Slid a 45 on the bar.
Right.
And she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I was like, just get a 45, put it on the bar, please. So she gets it, puts it, wrestles it up there on the bar.
Right.
And
45s are heavy, man.
Yeah.
For some reason.
This is terrifying, right?
Right.
She's like, I can't do this. And I said, Holly, you know how much weight this is? She said, yeah, it's 135 pounds. I said, you know how much weight was just on the bar that you just did a double with? She said, well, no, I didn't really, we were just lifting. I didn't really count. I said, that was 145 pounds. I said, that's 10 more pounds than what you got here.
Right.
She was like, no. And I said, Holly, there's 25, 2 10s, and a 5. What does that add up to? Well, yeah, I guess it is 145 pounds. I said, all right, now get under this weight and move it.
Yeah.
So she gets under 135, walks out, hits it for a triple. I got
serious?
a video of it in my phone. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. That's
so,
awesome.
I mean, that was a huge deal.
Right.
Terrified
Right.
of 45-pound plates.
Right.
They look so heavy. And
those are the big deal in the most gyms, the 45s.
Yeah.
How many plates? I remember this is probably 2003. It was always how many plates. Now they're wheels and stuff, right? But that was the big thing. And I couldn't imagine being a female going into, because Brute is not.
Dude, I was intimidated when I joined. I didn't want to talk to nobody.
There's not one Nautilus machine in there, is there? There may be a peg deck or something.
Not. Yeah, there's a peg deck, but it's not Nautilus.
But I'm saying the cable machine.
Yeah.
So going in that environment, it's not this big, bright, fancy place.
Oh no,
you know
it's dusty and it's
then you got
black and red everywhere.
You got a cat like what's that? I just said his name, Thomas, in there doing whatever he feels like.
Strong legs.
And then what freaked me out, we got Stella front squatting 405. Like you walk into that and you just go, I don't know. Like it was easy for me to get over it because I've been to other gyms and I went in there with Luke the first time, so I kind of knew. I know I'm out of my element.
Oh, you got somebody telling you, hey, look, there's gonna be this. There's gonna she does this and he does that. You got somebody telling you, oh, you'll be all right, patting you on the back.
Like did I didn't dare put more than 2 plates on anything because I was like, these guys can already outlift me, so I'm not gonna go here and make a fool of myself.
Yeah,
that's why I think the same thing, similar with your sister. I did my first Atlas Stone was like 225 or something, and Luke was like, what the? Yeah, well, try this 250, and kind of went up until I failed. But it was kind of the same thing because I didn't know how to lift this. He kind of showed me, but I didn't know what. I never did reps.
225 for never doing it sounds good.
Yeah, he was like, what? It's like, all right, well, let's go. I forget what weight I ended up failing on. But it's probably the same kind of thing. Like, all this stuff is new. So let's see what you can do. Okay, let's tweak this, tweak that, tweak that. Okay, now you've not plateaued. You've got to a point where you have confidence now. That's why I thought about staying in here another day. When I come down again, I'll probably stop over there. I was like, I haven't done stones in years. And that's what's going to be in the next competition.
You said probably the last time you were here with Luke.
Yeah.
Which was almost 4 years ago.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Well, you left long before he did.
Yeah, I was only here for a couple months waiting to leave. But I think the things like Fitbit, because I've had Fitbits and Nike had one. So whatever. I had a few of them. And the only reason I've gotten them is because I lost the will to move. So before movement was always weight training. So I definitely think they're good tools because it is that you go, I got to get this number. So you get home from work and you go on the walk.
Man, really, like I feel tired. I must have really walked a lot today. Well, you only walked 2,400 steps.
Right.
That ain't shit.
Right.
Like, right. You didn't even walk a quarter of a mile today, but you feel like crap.
Yeah.
And then you kind of turn it into the point where like, your mind is a terrible tool. I mean, you can feel like garbage, but you look at something and go, oh, damn, I only walked a quarter of a mile today.
Right.
I still got 3/4 of a mile to do. Yeah. So all of a sudden, what is that? That's motivation.
Yeah, yeah.
To get up and do something.
And that's
well, guess what? Well, I've been walking a mile every day. And then it turns into, man, I really feel that mile I walked yesterday I only walked a mile yesterday.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's just getting your foot in the door is the hardest, man. And I've heard not several people say, but I heard something a while back that really stuck with me. And they say the hardest lift you can ever do is your ass off of the couch.
That's true.
That first step is the hardest.
Yeah.
In anything you do, in whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
The first step is always the hardest. Be it a diet, going to the store, buying the stuff, and getting through your first day of eating clean is the absolute hardest. Just
to agree with you, but anything, it's always, and people tend to have a negative side to it. They say you fell off the wagon, and this, I'll say it. I heard Diamond Dallas Page say it, but he said, "Well, look, man. Say you're eating clean. Say you're walking. Say you're lifting. Whatever you're doing, right? You're not drinking. Whatever it is. Okay, you do it for a week, and then you fall off on that 8th day." He's always like, "Well, look, you had 7 good and 1 bad. Well, let's start up on the next one." and get another 7. Yeah, let's get back to where we fell off and get one more. Like there's always that one. You always get wobbly, like skateboard. Like, you always get wobbly, but if you fall, all right, well, what did you do? What triggered it? Well, man, went to Dairy Queen. So, like, okay, well, let's stay away from Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
Oh, but we have to go to Dairy Queen because you got to pick your son up from work, and sometimes you're there early. Cool. So if you have to get something, and that's where things like MyFitnessPal kind of help out. You go, well, all the things on the menu, I can't have that. I can't have it every day.
Yeah.
But that's the least evil thing that I can do. And it's the same with anything. Like I say, you go to the gym, well, just lift something. It's not your program, but lift something. Or if you're going to walk and you say, I'm tired, blah, blah. Well, I'll try to get 6,000 steps then. Because I'm not getting my 10 today. That's not happening. But getting your 6 still helps you move.
Yeah, it's better than the 3 you're at right now.
Yeah. And that's the same what happened with me after my injury. The doc was like, okay, you can walk. So it just started making new goals because the babysitter is a half mile away, so it's a mile total. So once I got that down, I was like, well, let's try a mile and a half. Let's try 2 miles. 2 miles. Let's try 3 on a Saturday. I don't have any responsibilities, right? I don't have to go to work. So now doing 3 miles is pretty normal. Like you're always trying to build up to the next biggest thing for you, but you were right. The hardest part is where do I start? How do I start? When do I start? Why do I start?
Yeah, and really it's comfort zone is a huge joy killer, man.
Yeah.
You get somebody to somewhere they ain't never been and they're just terrified.
Right.
And I mean, really, the saying life begins at the edge of your comfort zone is really true.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Your life will end in your comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know, nothing bad's going to happen to you for, making it a little bigger. So, I mean, people are so scared to change.
Yeah.
And it's to see somebody, to be able to be the person that says you can do it, and they actually believe you and they accomplish what they went to accomplish, it's an awesome feeling, man. And I mean, I really feel like, the camaraderie you make with your boys you see in the gym. If it wasn't for Brute, I wouldn't know you were Luke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Luke will hold you and I both accountable.
Yeah.
If I say, hey, Luke, prime example, hey, I'm qualified to go to USS Nationals. You ought to qualify.
Right.
We could go compete together.
Right.
Okay. Hey, Mark, you want to qualify to go to USS Nationals? Well, yeah. It'd be cool to get the crew back together again.
Right.
Dude, every day. You qualified up yet?
Yeah.
Nah, I got to meet on March 19th.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's good. You better win.
Yeah.
All right, Luke. And then guess what? 2-3 days later, hey, what's good? Oh, nothing. You qualified yet? Nah, Luke, it ain't March 19th yet. All right, well, just make sure you ain't forget.
Right.
You dude, like...
That's how he is with me to the day. To this day, he'll hit me with some shit. You train today? I'm like, God damn it. No. like, he'll guilt you and be like, all right, man, I'll work out. I mean, he's the one that signed me up for that Beast of the East months ago. Yeah, you should try this one out. And I'm like, I leave in May. And then a week ago, I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. Why not? But he's the dude that's like, do whatever you do, family man, whatever, but you will lift something. I don't care what you lift. Go get a car jack and jack up a car. Go do something today.
Yeah.
It's because of him. That's why I think that video's on Facebook. But like I pulled 375, and he's always that guy. Like, that's all. I'm like, yo, I haven't deadlifted in a year. I'm like, I don't have any more weights. So he's like, even now, he's like, all right, well, he said, come Monday, and it needs to be 405. I'm like, God damn it. So now I got to go to the gym at work. Like, I have to go load that. But you need that kind of positive peer pressure to kind of push you. Because when I think I warmed up to whatever. Like I did 135, of course, 220. Like, I just kind of played it up. And then I looked, I said, all I got is 375. So I pulled it and did like 3 sets of 3, something, right? My grip is gone. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, 3 sets of 3. So when he said 405, I was like, I could probably pull 405. At least one.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you do 3x3 or 470 or 375. Yeah.
And that's cold. That's not training. I was like, because that day I was like, I should just do that. I have to do something. So I think you need that kind of stuff. And even like you're talking about with your sister, is like at a point, I don't know how much she weighs. I don't know what her goal is. But
I mean, she lost. Since I bought her that Fitbit, she's lost over 75 pounds.
That's what I was going to say. You know, even if she hasn't lost anything, the fact that she's moving, if she's still going back to brute, just those two positives. Because usually you need something going, like, what is it called? Like perpetual motion? Whatever. You need something going to get something else going. You're not going to...
She's lost the weight, and she's also off of antidepressant medication, too. Yeah. And she's off of blood pressure medicine.
That daggone depression. Like you were saying, the mind is crazy. You can make yourself happy or sad. So the second a person accomplishes anything, they get that, you know, that spike. Like, oh, I don't have to live in this dark place. Well, no. And that's why even me, it's kind of cliche, but you do kind of go to the gym for stress relief. Even if you fail in the gym, like what you say, you didn't squat 325 or 625 or deadlift.
Oh, I'm saying
like,
if
you're still mad, but you're like, well, you know, I'll get it tomorrow. Yeah. Let your girlfriend break up with you or some shit. You won't get it tomorrow. You'll sit in that pool for months.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
When the gym is kind of like, all right, I'll get it tomorrow. You don't get it tomorrow, I'll get it the third day. And then if you don't get it for a week, you're like, what in the fuck? And I'm not taking my pre-workout 20 minutes before the lift. That's what it is. Everything else in life, it's so hard to find an answer and then accept it.
I mean, and I tell you what, man, it's I've heard a bunch of people say it. Gravity don't give a shit.
It doesn't.
Gravity don't care if you woke up late, if you was late to work, if you had a bad day, if your car broke down, if your girl cheated on you, if the dog died. Gravity don't give a shit, and the iron don't give a shit.
Right.
You think the iron cares? Go drag a bar up your shin. You're going to bleed whether you had a good day or a bad day.
Yeah.
Iron is still iron, and gravity is still there. And it's still strong. Gravity PRs every day.
Right, that's true.
So, I mean, dude, it's just one of those things. It's a constant, man.
Right.
Iron, I mean, they say getting bit by the iron bug. Iron it will be your best friend. It'll be your worst enemy. It's up to you.
Yeah.
To make what you can of it, you know, and I mean that's why I love it, man. I've made lifelong friends, and I mean really it's probably saved my life because I'd probably be in terrible shape.
Right.
And if I never got back in the gym, I don't even think about it. It's not even a question anymore.
It almost holds you to a standard that you don't see it. But it just holds you like, I have to go lift. And kind of by default, call me crazy, but calories in versus calories out, energy in versus energy expended versus energy not. If you expend more energy, you lose weight or you maintain a weight. And by doing that, you can get to, like you were saying, the nationals or whatever, just kind of by default. Like kids that can read usually grow up and be adults that can read. And guess what? They end up being smart. Well, just because they read. They don't read to be smart.
Educated.
Yeah, they don't do it to be smart. It's just a byproduct, but it's specific to the action.
Yeah.
So whichever way you get to it, man, I think it's well worth it.
Yeah, dude. I love it, man.
We will wrap this up. We've been on here about an hour.
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
You got Instagram is Big Fun Done.
Big Fun Done. And 2 G's, 2 N's, and 2 more N's.
All right, that's the episode for today. I'll put the link for Brute Strength Gym and Global Force for Gains in the description below. So, catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.